Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
I muted myself and I'm talking to you.
Oh, okay.
Morning.
I'll mute myself.
Hey guys.
Hey,
Hello.
good morning.
I had such a good meeting this morning
Yeah, too.
with some guy who Jeff Lobb. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
Of
He
course
does
I know Jeff Lobb.
oh yeah?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I got to meet with him. He gave me so much really good content and information. He's awesome. Really, he gave me so much information. Like, I'm like, wow. The first time I talked to Jeff Lobb, I was kind of like, you're not that great. And
That's
then
so
this
funny.
time I had such a good conversation. I got so much information. I was like, wow. He was talking about like AdWorks and skip tracing and Power ISAs and sphere targeting and lead gen, because I've been wanting to learn how to retarget like Facebook ads, because they do those Facebook videos, but I mean I do those listing videos, but I never really get, I mean I just do it just to get people to look at stuff, you know. It doesn't really bring me, honestly, it doesn't really bring me any business when I do the videos. It's just to do it. But I'm, trying to learn how to make more of the money I spend.
That's great. He's a great guy to do that. He's very good with technology.
Yeah, he was really good. He knew so much. It was really good.
Could he ever be on one of our office meetings?
He could probably, he does a training, so he would take over. Like, you know what I'm saying? You'd hire him as either a motivational training for the company or for the office.
Okay.
You know, so he wouldn't pop in. He wouldn't be a popper in, or he would be the meeting.
Okay.
He's a paid guy. Yeah.
Oh, yes, he's a
I
paid
think
guy.
Schweiker would have to pay him.
What
He's
does he
not like my
charge?
friend. Huh?
What does he charge?
He didn't. So the lender I use has him on retainer. So he, put him in for me. So I have no idea what he charges. I could ask him. Honestly, he'd be happy to. I mean, this is what he does for a living, is like stuff like talking to offices and stuff.
Yeah, we had,
So-
Remax had him at one of our company-wide meetings, or the Remax I used to be part of, and that's how he had him once or twice. So that's how I was able to meet him.
Yeah, he was like, honestly, I was really surprised about how much I learned in it was like 30 minutes.
Did you have another session with him, or did you get enough out of 30 minutes where you're done?
I got a lot in 30 minutes. I got so much information, honestly. I mean, I have all this stuff written down about different things. Like, honestly, like skip tracing, going on Fiverr and like getting these lists of people,
Right,
like going on the tax records.
Right.
I
but
could
now-
do training.
but will you be
Please.
able to do it tomorrow? When you look at your notes, will you know what any of it means?
Well, let's just do it right now in the office meeting.
Mhm.
'Cause I
Well,
have
that's a
it
great
fresh in
question,
my
Lori. So when
mind.
you say is half hour enough, I would say it is enough, right? Because you
Yeah.
probably should do small little sessions, take what
Yeah,
you
it was-
learn, implement
it's too
it, and
much.
then get a new one and start, because if you
Yeah,
get
he
too much,
gave
you're
me
not
so
gonna
much
do anything.
information.
You know,
I
it's
could
even
never
with
do half
Stephanie's
this.
training, when she shows us how to do something, it's like, oh yeah, I know how to do that. And then when I go to do it, it's like, what did she say? It's like, I don't remember anything. And even though I did take notes, so that's why I'm saying.
I don't know yet. We'll see tomorrow. Ask me tomorrow if I remember.
We're gonna have another meeting tomorrow, Lori, and just find out what Jennifer implemented and did not. No, but that's why I think everybody should be setting one-on-one appointments with Stephanie, because the agents that do that get so much more. Like Peter Lee walked into my office yesterday afternoon. He's like, oh my God, I'm so happy. I love Stephanie. She does such a great job. I'm so happy that I've taken the time to, do that. And I said, well, if everybody just listened to me, I don't talk just to talk. Well, sometimes I do. But most of the time I have important
hearing
information.
that. I love hearing that. Nobody in my life has ever
He's
said
like,
that.
he said, you know what? She took away so much stuff that I used to do. Like now I can go in, I can run things off her. She, I said, that's the point. Your point is you guys should be out in the streets,
On the
doing what
streets.
you do best.
Hustling.
Out in the streets.
Out in the street hustling.
Yeah, that didn't come out right. Do not go out in the streets and sell your body, people. Well, hey, do whatever you have to do. I don't care. But but what I'm saying is you guys should be out in the field doing what you do best, getting in front of people, getting on your appointments, right? That's what you love to do. Let us handle everything in-house. Like, that's why we're here for. That's the support that you have here so that you can go out and do those things.
What did you teach, Stephanie? What were like 1 or 2 things?
Peter?
Yeah.
I don't really, I mean, he's like, he knows a lot, but I just do things for him. Like I did a little card for him for his open house last weekend that he attached to the pre-existing door hangers just to, he's trying to rebrand themselves, just little things like that. Just little tiny things I think that, just adds up, when somebody has to sit down in front of the computer and teach themselves something. And I just took that away from him. Just something small like that. And then I'm meeting with Layla on a regular basis, although it's kind of fallen off the last couple of weeks, but to teach her how to use my white guard and kind of take control of that for the team. So, it's just taking a lot off of Peter's shoulders and Brenda's shoulders. Now they can just sell their houses.
So that's the thing, right? I call that head stuff, right? We all have stuff in our head all day long that we want to do, that we try to accomplish, but we have so many other things pulling us in different directions, which is a little plug now for my time management blocking tomorrow, okay, workshop that everybody needs to be at. But we have all these little things in our heads that we have great intentions, but we don't have the time. So if you can get, if you can pass some of those things on to people who can do it well and do it quickly for you, so you're not sitting there for an hour trying to figure out like a font or whatever it is that is stopping you from being productive, then put it on, push it on, and then you can do whatever it is that you do best.
I didn't know Stephanie did that stuff. I didn't know you did that stuff, Steph. I thought you only did KV Core, but if you do other stuff, then that's awesome.
Yes.
Oh, no, thanks. Yeah, it's KV Core is my #1 priority because the company has put it that way. But I'm always going to be a marketer. I've been in marketing for a long time, and that's kind of where my passion is anyway. I appreciate it. I'm just happy that you said it, so now I know. I think I had done some flyers for you early on in my time with Whitegurt. Remember you were going to do a seminar before COVID hit. You were going to do seminars. And
I did, but then I think you told me something about like postcards that you can only do them through my Whitegurt, and that I couldn't.
No.
I just meant regular postcards.
I just meant that it has to be printed there. As far as creating the postcard, I can create a postcard for you no matter what you want to do. But as far as printing it, they would prefer that we go through Whitegurt Design Center.
Okay, awesome.
And
Thank
I
you,
guess
Steph.
early on, I didn't know that it wasn't a necessity. I didn't know that at the time.
Uh-oh, Phyllis, stop taking over my screen, buddy. Okay.
Oh, let me get off here. Let me get off here.
I can't even. If I told you to take over my
Should I
screen,
leave the meeting? What should I do? Stop share. I got it. I did
Oh
it.
man.
I love you guys. That's what entertains me the most. Carol's now a Zoom expert. Carol Paul.
Okay,
She did
right.
her first presentation on Zoom. So
Yeah, I didn't get the listing. They just called me this morning.
Oh,
And they said they had two realtors and I was working too hard for my son. And lady said, that reminded me I should work hard for my son and get the most money for the house.
oh my
my
God. Oh my God.
Well, my son's all upset.
you want to
but-
sit on there?
Mhm.
No, not in
Oh
there.
my God.
In here, sit in here. Go get your pad and sit with mommy. Okay.
All right, it's 10:01.
Get your pad and you'll sit with mama.
Everybody will start rolling in on Realtor time. The sun is shining, guys. That's a great thing. We had beautiful weather yesterday, and even though it's chilly today, the sun is shining. So we have to be thankful for all these little gifts we get.
I think it's aren't we supposed to have snow Thursday and tomorrow and?
Thursday, yeah,
Yes.
I heard that.
Yeah,
I definitely heard that, but.
Hi.
hey,
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Joanne.
How are you?
Good.
Sorry I was late, but I was on a call. A
No
good one.
worries. No
Good.
worries. We call that,
Working?
oh,
What do you call it?
I don't know what fricking is, but I call it.
Working.
Oh, sorry, I think you said fricking. I was like, I don't know what that means. We call
Working.
that agent time, Joanne. After the time starts, then the agents get on.
Right.
All right, let me get my screen sharing. I didn't stop my recording today, so I don't have to worry about that. I can take back my screen. Okay, here we go. All right, guys, so we're in 2021. I know I've had a lot of talks with agents this week in regards to 2021 and this market, and it is a challenging market, right? We always have challenges. So we always have to navigate different ways to run our business. And, you know, with the low inventory, it has become ultra challenging this year. So hopefully we'll work through some things to help you get through those. I thought that it would have a really cute video I want to share with you. So if you're ever wondering what a day in my life is like dealing with realtors, I thought I would share with you my week, Monday through Friday. Now, obviously, this would be the realtors, right, that you're going to see on here. But I thought this was like really, really important for you to know what my life is like. So here we go. Oh. All right, let me do it again. Let me do it again. Always a problem. I don't know why.
Leave the hardware back on the window, the bathroom?
No,
No, okay.
thank you, thank you.
Okay, I'm going to start again. Close your eyes, but don't look at anything else. I can't shut anything off. I can't do anything. Okay, here we go. Let me unmute. Okay, here we go.
Have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure. I'm in a glass case of emotion. You want to see what's going on here? Ah! Sorry, but
Okay, that is my life as a manager in corporate headquarters office, in case anybody is wondering.
Whether you're raising a family or seeking adventure,
I hope you guys enjoyed that. But I thought that basically sums up my week, right? When you come into the office, every day is a different emotion. Every day is a different challenge. So it was all for fun, not to hurt anyone or to make anyone feel bad. So hopefully you got a kick out of it. So anyway, my quote of the week: there are people less qualified than you, and we all know this by working with other realtors in the field, doing the things you want to do simply because they decide to believe in themselves, period. So guys, you have to believe in yourself. You guys are the best that there is out there, 100%, hands down. And you have all of the tools, you have all of the support, you have everything that you need to be successful in this business. And I know we deal with a lot of people who just get in, you know, because they think our business is so easy, right? There's so many different reasons why people get into real estate. Especially now, we're seeing more and more agents get in because they don't have to actually go to a class, right? They can do a Zoom class. So if they've ever had the inclination to do real estate, they're like, well, why don't I just try it now? I can do it from home. I can take the class from home, right? So we're seeing more and more people in, but you are definitely the best. You will make it through all the different markets we see, all the challenges, the ups and downs, as long as you believe in yourself. So I just want to remind you that. So anybody have any success stories that they want to share that happened this week that can bring some positivity? Just because I know there's a lot of great things going on out there. I know there's a lot of hard things going on there. I know there's a lot of challenges going on, but I know, you know, that there's also a lot of successes going on, you know, just with people, with agents, you know, doing the right thing each week and helping their clients. So always want to see if there's something that someone's willing to share.
Stephanie helped Nancy and I do a large mail out to email. Well, I don't know what you call it. An email out
Mass
to
email.
I think it was almost 900 people in Hanover Township. We only got one good response, which we are going over to talk to the lady at 1 o'clock today. She might not be moving now, but she might be moving in 6 months from now, but at least we got one appointment, and we still might get more because everybody, they might keep what we sent and then just put it on the refrigerator or something, and maybe we'll get more. So
That's great. I think one is great in this market out of 900. I really do. And that's just, that was the quickest one, right? So you're right. You keep doing that. You do that consistently every 2 weeks or once a month. You'll definitely see more and more results from it. So
Yes,
thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Stephanie. She really, she really helped us. And we're going to try to sit with Stephanie maybe once a week or once every other week to try to get, learn a little bit more of KV Corp.
Yeah, I'm in. I had a good time.
It was quite entertaining, I must say. But thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Carol. I appreciate that. You're welcome.
I could say something.
Sure.
I think that exclusive, the way we could put our photographs on our exclusives on KV Corp, I think that was tremendously helpful. I had my listing in Randolph that I'm already in attorney review with a Weichert agent, and it worked out great.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
But that also came about, the success story, that came about from, the reason I got that listing was because the people next door, I sold their house 3 years ago, and my by referral only, I pay for, keeps in contact with my clients, unbeknownst to me, and they happened to really gave me a great recommendation and got that listing. It was very, effortless.
That's awesome. And so just to add on to that, that's what your KV Core system does, right? So if you have your contacts in there, it's going to nurture them on your behalf, unbeknownst to you, like Dennis said. And then, you're going to stay in touch with those people, because that's where we fall behind as agents, is our follow-up, right? I always say JFFU, just freaking follow up, because you want to be the one that's on their mind when they decide to do anything with real estate. And the only way is if you're constantly there, it's like little subtle reminder. So thank you, Dennis. That was great. And it was great that an agent had an opportunity to bring a buyer through without having to go through 20, going against 20 offers, right? I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So make sure you're checking that exclusives. Make sure you have the My Weichert tab up every single day, like your MLS, and you're making sure that you're seeing if your clients are engaged in the system, and seeing if, and going through the exclusives if you're looking for something particular for a buyer.
Well, I think if they made that, they made the photograph, so it's easier to put the photograph on than a Garden State multiple listing.
There you go.
And it really is. And if we could develop a hot sheet to look like that, you might have more of our agents looking at exclusives, because it's all easy and mapped out for them. Like you're used to a hot sheet. It makes
Every
it easy.
day.
Right? But if you had that, I think we'd sell more. I think Weichert probably sell more of their listings in-house.
Yeah, that's
just
actually a great idea. If there's something like that.
Missy, can I say something? I'm the secret agent working with Dennis, and it's Mary, and I heard about this listing from our meeting. It wasn't on the exclusive, because I don't check that. To Dennis's point, I don't know how that works. I don't know how whatever. But it was last week's meeting, and I was like, I've got perfect buyers, so that would be helpful.
If anything, I might have to
That's
go around
awesome.
that.
See, so in-house was able to sell it because they
I'm not
came
gonna
to
have
the
any
meeting.
space, 'cause you gotta move the stuff out.
Wait, I have to mute people for a minute. So I hear a lot of.
want to leave that in the hallway.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So if you want to unmute, talk, please unmute yourself. So that's, again, what a great opportunity, right? For an agent to be able to bring a buyer into a home, knowing that they have it firsthand. This is what we tell our clients, right? This is a value we have. You can't go to Zillow and find Dennis's listing, right? This is something that we have in-house. So it's an opportunity for us to show that our value, and that, how important we are in the transaction for our clients.
We have a black box in front of the screen.
Oh, okay. I don't know why, because I don't see anything. That's really
Don't see
weird.
anything? I didn't touch mine. I have a black box.
Does everybody have a black box in front of the screen? Wait, Dennis, you're
Yeah.
muted.
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
we
do.
do.
Missy, it's your
There's
it's your
two.
Zoom. It's your Zoom meeting. It's when you just muted everybody that came up.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
I'm
just
gonna unshare.
There you go.
share it again. That should
Share it
help.
again. Let me see if I,
Yeah,
is
it's
that,
gone.
okay.
It's in the right-hand corner now, but it's gone.
You know, that happened last week on Bev Mo's
You're
when-
good. You're
thing.
good
I don't know why.
You're good now. I
okay.
have something to add on the exclusives if I can. I don't think Vin's on, so I figured I'll speak for him. He started a great Facebook site in addition to what Weichert already offers is the Weichert exclusives page. Actually, we have hundreds of followers already, or he has hundreds of followers already, and I think a lot of people are utilizing it. It's just in addition to, you know, like Mara said, it's it's not, she doesn't know about it, she doesn't know how to use it. Maybe next week I'll do a little training on it. It's pretty simple. But if you have an exclusive, feel free, in addition to giving Silvana the paperwork, CC me on it. She's going to just email me the paperwork anyway, so you might as well just CC me on it, and then I can do that admin work, put it on Facebook, put it on the exclusives page if necessary. She's been doing that as well, so kind of helping out with that.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Stephanie. So Vince started a Weichert only New Jersey statewide Facebook page for exclusives. I believe he's up to 600 and something members already. And so it's exclusives throughout New Jersey in the Weichert community. So this is something he, thought was important right now, and one place for us to go instead of going to the McDonald region and Albanese region and in the different regions to see all the different exclusives, which you could do as well. He made it into one platform. So it's growing. It's only been on for like a week and a half, and he has over 600 members and growing. So again, if you're not part of that, I will make sure I send out the link when I send out the slides later, so that you can just click on and follow his page to be part of that community. Again, it's a value that we have, that you're able to tell your buyers, this is something you're not going to find anywhere else but with me. Okay, so we have to make sure we really point that out. So our birthdays this week, we have Mark Hetrick and Joanne Travisano. Birthdays today, so happy birthday, guys. Mark Farley's on the 19th and Sneha is on the 22nd. Don't forget, they have the Weichert Community Update each week. It's sent to your mailboxes every Monday morning at 9:30, and it's a video of everything that's going on within the Weichert community. Just to remind you again that there is opportunities if you have the property management referral. You can get $200 per referral by referring your landlords or your tenants to property management. And remember, when we had the property management representative on a few weeks ago, Judy Giordano, she mentioned about the vacant property. And right now in these cold weathers, it's really, really important, especially if there's a vacant property that you're listing, that you want to make sure that it's covered, right? That you're not running there during a snowstorm to make sure pipes didn't burst. So it's a great program to introduce your clients to. And then again, we've been mentioning this each week because we have so much businesses going on. I always say, as realtors, we really keep the economy going. As busy as we are, as busy as we keep so many different vendors and attorneys and title, insurance, contractors, right? We keep everybody busy. So one of the benefits right now is we are looking for some great people to join our company. So if you know anyone who'd be a great mortgage advisor, insurance advisor, or title closing advisor, they are paying $2,500 as an incentive if you refer that someone to that career, any of these partners. So I'm just
How to do title now. I said I can do title now.
Yeah, I bet you can, Jen. I'm not. Yeah, top notch is not top notch. You're gonna have your own little company. So anyway, January company awards, this is company-wide. So these are the individual agents, and though we don't have any individual agents on here, I thought it's always good because a lot of you are very competitive. And if you know that this is something that goes out there, I know you're going to push yourself to want to be on here. So I thought this was really great. So for dollar volume, these are the top individual agents company-wide. For listings, top individual agents, revenue units, sales. And then as far as our January company awards for teams, dollar volume, of course, we have Jackie Scurra here, which is great. Congratulations, Jackie. Listings. Congratulations, Jackie, again. Revenue units. So we have a lot in the top three, right? We have a few, 2 1s and a lot of 3s. We're missing 2s. I'm not sure where that one went, but congratulations again. And then as far as sales goes. So everybody knows Erica Travis, right? So if you see her on the streets or talk to her, congratulate her on a great month as well. And then our January company awards for offices. So we were top 5 for dollar volume. We did not make it for listings last month. Revenue units. I'm used to being on all of these, guys, thanks to you. So, and sales. So we have to get back on the map, okay? So I know last week we were expecting Jamie on, but unfortunately, each one of us thought we sent her the link and we didn't. So glad to have Jamie on this morning. And you guys have been really having a lot of challenges as far as, you know, transactions and all different things that come your way these days. Property lines and easements and title and this and that, right? So I spoke to a few people last week and I said, save these questions when we have the attorney on, they can answer them best because a lot of these questions are legal and I can't answer them. So Jamie, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Jamie.
Oh, hi.
So anyway, I know this is a challenging market. Love to hear what challenges you're finding that, you know, I guess more so than before, especially with the agents and your buyers and sellers.
Okay, absolutely. So last year, I would say the biggest challenges we had was shifting, you know, the logistics of how things were done due to the virus. And, you know, just in terms of home inspectors and lenders and everyone being backed up. I'm not seeing that at all right now, thankfully. The biggest issue that I'm having right now, and I think we've touched on this before, and this just happened to me this morning, is buyers waiving their contingencies when they don't really want to waive their contingencies, but they feel that they have to waive them because they're so tired of not getting the houses because there's so many offers on every single property. So I just had a conversation at 9:45 with a buyer and he said, I'm as is. But then proceeded to tell me that his version of as is that the kitchen is old and will need to be upgraded and he's fine with that. However, he wants to ask for a credit for systems that are working, but at the end of their useful life, such as the furnace and the roof. And I said, let me tell you something, you are not an as-is buyer. And I explained the whole thing and that sometimes we will limit what you can ask for to safety, structural, environmental. But the fact is, if you're not comfortable and with waiving those rights and not having the right to ask for those things under the inspection contingency, saying as is really only going to start the transaction with mixed messages, and we're going to have a problem from the get-go. I said, we know you can sign it and I'll try to address it in attorney review, but 9 times out of 10, the seller and their attorney are not going to take kindly when we retract the verbiage. So I think that's the problem. You know, the buyers, and I feel for them, they want a house, they want to make their offer as attractive as possible. But when you have an appraisal contingency, either by desire or due to your mortgage terms, you want to reserve your inspection rights. And if you have to sell something, I mean, that's a whole other thing with the home sale contingencies these days. It's very difficult to get your offer to all the way to the closing table because the sellers feel that they can have something stronger. Now, on the flip side, I have a seller in Harding who went on the market Super Bowl weekend, had 3 cash offers right off the bat, and, you know, was thrilled. And next thing you know, one of them fizzled out, the other one fizzled out. We're in review on the third one, just got a kill letter this morning. So you have to be very tricky. I'm a big believer, you know, I've been doing this 17 years, and there's definitely like the karma of the real estate gods. So you have to be careful. You go too much in one direction and, you know, things can get skewed. So even if you're in a strong position being a seller in this market, you have to be careful because things can turn very, very quickly. And that's what I'm always nervous about. And that's the main thing. I want to make sure that my clients, buyers or sellers, are protected and they get to the closing table if they want to get to the closing table. And if they don't, you know, trying to find a way out of the contract for them if that's the best thing for them. Does anyone have anything they want me to specifically address? Because I can talk about horror stories all day long.
I have one about a driveway.
Okay.
And property line. So
Okay.
my client told me that their neighbor overbuilt onto the very edge of their property line and didn't care about any boundaries. And they were friends with them at the time, but now not so much. And they also paved a part of their driveway, and they've created like a shared driveway because of it. So the entrance, they have to go through their driveway. It's not a huge driveway, but it still makes the driveway very narrow because they overbuilt on their own property. Now, when we go to sell it, like, how do we handle that? I mean, because now the neighbors has no other way of getting into their driveway
They have
because of that.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I'm understanding correctly. Is it a shared driveway that they both utilize it, but it's on both of their properties adjacent to each other?
So they're on both of their properties, yeah, adjacent to each other, and they're sharing the driveway, but the driveway only belongs to my client.
Okay, so the driveway is only on your client's property, but the neighbor is utilizing it for access to their property. That's correct?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so there's a few ways to handle that because that's a very common situation in New Jersey because of the irregular lots and the age of the properties and the lake communities and that sort of thing.
It wasn't originally like that, though. They built onto their property to make it that way.
With their permission?
No.
Okay, they just built it onto their property but never asked them, and your clients never raised a legal issue with them?
No, because they were friends at the time, and now she wants to sell, and she's asking me how do I handle that? I mean, does she have to still sell it as a shared driveway? You know?
Yes.
Well, unless the driveway, unless the seller's neighbor stops utilizing the driveway, yes, it has to be done as a shared driveway. It can just be sold saying that there's a shared driveway, or there can be a shared driveway agreement prepared and signed that explicitly lays out the usage between the parties, the maintenance between the parties, including, you know, snow shoveling and that sort of thing. And that could get recorded with the county clerk in the county the property is located in and run in perpetuity with the property. Not everyone goes that formal route. Sometimes they just let it be. It's sometimes when you go to sell, you have a buyer that's fine with proceeding the way it is. Other times they insist on having a shared driveway agreement prepared and recorded in order for them to consummate the closing.
So do you think it should be done before or after? I mean, she doesn't even like the neighbor anymore. So she's like, I don't, you know, he should never did that.
What I would probably recommend is not rushing into doing that as long as it's fully disclosed on the MLS that the buyer is aware of it. And then if it becomes an issue during attorney review and being under contract, it can always be prepared and recorded prior or at the time of closing.
Yeah. So she basically gave up her right to her property because she didn't raise an issue when it happened?
I don't think that she gave up her right to her property. That's a different story. If she wants to rescind that right of the neighbor to utilize it, I think she would be able to do that. She would need to send formal notice to them. However, if it did end up going to court, a judge may be skeptical about that, just saying the fact that you've let it go for X number of years and didn't have an issue with it. I don't think it's a situation that would qualify for something like adverse possession and the requirements of that, but it may not be that easy to, number one, get them to voluntarily agree to stop using the driveway. It may be something that would have to go to a judge. chance.
So I'd have to, so when I go to put it for sale, I would tell my client the best thing to do is just put it's a shared driveway.
Yes, I would put it right in the MLS shared driveway.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
What if the person that buys the house wanted to keep that driveway just for them? They can't, I don't think they can legally do that since it was always shared, and you can't take away what you've already given to the neighbors that have already used it as access to their property.
Well, correct, but they've
Got
never given
access.
anything in writing. They've been letting them utilize it as a courtesy. So I don't think that it's necessarily the case that the neighbors just lose that right, because they've been letting them use it. So I think it's something that would probably, unless you could get to an agreement, would have to go to Chancery.
Okay.
I had that come up in a closing years ago, and we actually had to rescind the license. No license was given. They did it. And, you know, if they, with what you're talking about, it sounds like they probably weren't to code with what they did anyway for setbacks.
Well, I'm not speaking as to setbacks. I given the information that I received on this fact pattern, I wouldn't be able to speak as to setbacks. I'm just talking as to usage.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie, it's Lanny. Hi, honey. In Jen's situation, how does the other neighbor get to his property if Jen's neighbor says, no, we can't use it anymore?
Right.
Well, that's the issue. If the neighbor doesn't have another way, that's something that a judge may say, like, hey, you let them, they've relied on this, and they would be, you know, materially disadvantaged if you just unilaterally take this away. So I think that's how it can get tricky. If it was a different fact pattern where they're using it because, you know, whatever, it's extra parking or it's like super wide. But if that's the only way, obviously that's going to be given serious weight in deciding the outcome of this case.
So Jen's people, once they say that it's a shared driveway, then basically that's the end of the problem?
I don't think it's the end of the problem. First of all, they'd have to see if the buyer would accept the fact that it's a shared driveway, if they would accept it without writing, or if they require a shared driveway easement agreement, or if they refuse to accept it and they would have to go the route of trying to rescind it and see if they would even be able to do that.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Jamie, when is the best time to call you when for questions or stuff like that? Like first thing in the morning, at the end of the day, like instead of emailing back and forth, because sometimes you just want to say blah, blah, blah and be done.
Absolutely. I would say the best time to call me is midday, like after I get through the morning crises.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I'm usually trying to wrap up attorney review on something or prep my closings. I would say midday is the best thing. However, with that being said, if you leave me a message, I will always get back to you within 24 hours. If you need me at night, email me, because my voicemails only get picked up during business hours, and I will call you at night or on the weekend.
I just wanted to discuss with you the thing that I'm doing, what would be the best to ask for and not ask for, because, you know, I don't know.
Okay, so yeah, if you want to call me like early afternoon today, that would be fine.
Perfect.
Thank
Does
you.
anybody have any other questions for Jamie? Well, thank you, Jamie, again. We
Thank you. The
appreciate
last thing I'm going to say is just make your closing dates realistic in your contracts, make your mortgage commitment dates realistic in your contracts, and please disclose any home sale contingencies, because that's always a fun surprise when we find them out later.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone, and just call me or email me if you need me. Have a good day, everyone.
You too, Jamie. Thank you again.
Okay,
Yes,
bye.
and
Thanks,
guys,
Nick.
there's so many of these legal questions are coming up. So we have great attorneys like Jamie who are willing to, you know, help you get through them. You know, always feel free to reach out. So how is the market right now? Besides crazy, or whatever word you want to call it that may not be appropriate for our meeting today. Housing Market Recovery Index. So on the 4 components, demand, supply, price, and time on the market, from 2/1 of 19 to one of 20. This is what we saw last year, right? So we're heading into a great market as far as last year before everything shut down. Now, a year-over-year change in listings, you can see that total listings are down dramatically. I mean, look at that little red part, which is where we are sitting right now, and new listings. So we are seeing new listings coming on, but obviously they're going really, really quick. And we have less listings now than we did even a month ago in January. So you would think that getting closer to the spring market, like we've seen historically, we start seeing the inventory rise slightly until we get to April, May, when it's at its height. We're seeing it decline even more than we did in the past month. So very scary. So a bubble. Did anybody think we're in a housing bubble right now? So we're seeing so many contradictory articles and information. And even if you listen to different speakers, right, everything is always a little bit contradictory, but I feel very confident that based on where our home sale prices have gone, and based on some other information that I'm about to share with you, that we are still in a really strong market. So no bubble this time. That's not what they're saying. All the economists are saying we are in a good market and we will continue to be in a good market. So this historic appreciation at 3.8% is if you took all of the appreciation and depreciation we've had since 2000 and averaged it out, that's where we are today, right? Based on where we were in 2000 and where we are today, we're at an average of a 3.8% in appreciation. This is the actual, okay? So you can see where we had the highs and lows, 2005, 2006, the height of the market. We've actually exceeded that now if you look at the appreciation where we were in 2020 compared to where we were in 2006. So I actually have seen, when I look at homes that come on the market and I go into their tax reports just to see, for my own knowledge, what they bought it for, when they bought it. And we are seeing those prices, if they bought it 2006, they're back where they are today. Okay, so we did see some highs and lows, but the historic altogether is 3.8%. And then year over year home price gains. So S&P is saying we had an appreciation of 9.5%. Federal Housing Finance Agency, 11%. So about 10% appreciation in the last year. Huge, huge appreciation, as you know. And you're seeing, and it's continued to grow. So here's a 2021 home price forecaster. I know a lot of people have asked me, what can I tell my clients the appreciation is going to be for 2021? And so here is an average of National Association of Realtors, Zelman & Associates, Realtor.com, Freddie Mac, Mortgage Bankers Association, Fannie Mae, CoreLogic. So an average of all those comes out to 5%. And that's what we've been basically saying and hearing and seeing. So 5% appreciation for 2021. And then the SF inventory and home prices from 2010 to today. So you notice they always talk about the V, right? We're always in our business, it's about is there going to be a V-shaped recovery? Is it going to be a V-shape, right? And a lot of our charts show a V-shape. And so here you see an excellent V-shape, right? So home prices are up and inventory is way, 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 way down. So just a little history from 2010 until 2020 until today. And then again, another V-shape, month's inventory of homes for sale. So when we were in a buyer's market and then in a seller's market, and this seller's market, they're showing from 1999. This is history, guys. We have reached historic low inventory, never seen before since they've been tracking the market. So, I mean, really, really unbelievable information that we're providing here. And then percentage of homes underwater is nothing like the last time. So this is where where the bubble part comes in, right? Because if it's just going to be this bubble during this time and then that bubble is going to pop and everything is going to go drastically down again, which is what happened in 2010. We're not seeing the same thing. More people have equity in their homes. More people are in better shape now than they ever were before financially and with their homes. So percentage of homes underwater, 25% in 2010 and 3% today. So all great news, all positive news upcoming for our industry. So Stephanie, do you want to share with us? I'm just going to mute everybody, so you're gonna have to unmute yourself again. Okay. So Stephanie, you're gonna have to unmute yourself again.
Got it.
Good.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks, Missy. So I just wanted to go over just real quick. This came up a couple of times last week on my one-on-ones, just getting content out. So there are about 300 email templates in my Weichert. Obviously, that's a lot. But over the course of the last 6 months or so, I've been creating templates from scratch for you guys. And I do release them on email as well, just to show you, the names of them, so you are able to utilize them. But I just want to show you where they are. So you would go into Marketing Autopilot. It automatically goes to campaigns, but there's actually a second tab that you might not be aware of. And there's a little screenshot there. It's called Templates. And actually there's email and text message templates already created. You can either start from scratch, or what you can do is you can take one that's already created and kind of make it your own. So if you go to the next slide, I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so what you would do is you would, find a template that kind of suits what you're trying to do, and then you would click the clone button on the list. So right there, you can see there's a little yellow arrow that says clone. They use clone, it's just copy. It's the same, they just use the word clone for whatever reason. So then an email will pop up. You should change the name of the template. It automatically defaults to whatever the template name is, and then it says copy in parentheses. I've been telling people just put your name or your initials in there, because again, there's 300 templates, and in order to find it easily, you can just do a search with your initials or your name. For the ones that I've made for the group, I use Morris Plains in the template name. And then the next slide there, the template scope will be your name. It will automatically default to your name, so you don't have to change it. And then you can change the subject line if you prefer a different subject line. Again, the subject actually is what the receiver will see. The template name they won't see, the template scope they won't see, but they will see the subject. So just keep in mind, how are you going to get this person to open this email? A catchy subject line is always good. Keep it short and simple, 6-7 words at most, because you don't want it to get cut off on a mobile phone. So you want to try to get the first few words in there. And then you can edit the content. You can use what's there and, add to it. Again, they're very simple things. You can, speak to a specific person, dear John, dear Jane, whatever you want to do. You can edit the inside of the template to what you want. You can leave it also if you wanted, but this way you can make it your own. And then you want to toggle the include signature on. Just as a note, please make sure you have your signature filled in your profile, otherwise it will be blank. They won't know who it's coming from other than the email address. And then what you'll do is you'll click clone template. Oh, I'm missing a slide. At the end, you'll just click.
I'm missing a slide.
Okay. So the last slide there was just, if you can just go back one, Missy. There's a little green button in the right-hand corner right there. There's no arrow there. It says clone template. So this way, it's just making a copy of it. So now what you can do is you can use it for mass emailing.
Stephanie?
So that was my whole little presentation. Eric, yes?
How I was trying, I'm doing it. I couldn't get it to put an attachment for a mass email, so it always goes with it.
It will not, we don't have the ability to attach. So it's not anything you were doing wrong, but we can, and I've been working with another agent on this, there is a way to insert images. So you can do the advanced editor, which I can meet with you and,
No, I did it. I just wanted the flyer I created.
No, there's no way to attach it. There's no way to attach it. So what you can do is you can save it in Google Drives. I don't suggest doing it that way. Nobody's going to click on it. I would suggest putting the image of the template of the flyer inside the email. So when they open the email, it's bam, right there. They don't have to download anything. They don't have to search for anything. They don't have to click anything. It's right there in front of them. They don't have to do anything else. They can read it and be done.
That's what I did, so.
Okay, yeah, so that's
Stephanie.
the best way to do it. Yep.
Stephanie?
Yeah.
I remember you telling us to click off the signature switch for some sort of mass emailing we were doing.
Right.
Was
So
I
if
correct?
yes, you are correct. So if the
Okay.
signature is already within the template itself, toggle that to off because you don't want the signature to be there twice. So if the signature is already there in the body of the content, like it says agent signature or it says agent first name, agent last name, agent email, agent
that's
phone,
already
if it's
there.
already there,
Okay.
click it off. For the most
Okay.
part, most of these templates don't have it in there.
Okay.
But some do. So just be mindful of what's already in the content.
Mhm.
And if there's
Okay.
if there's no signature, like, sincerely, Deborah, sincerely, if it's just blank, just make sure you include the signature.
Well, what I do is send it to me first, see what it looks like, and then I send
No,
it out.
absolutely. Great
Because I don't really know what I'm
Everybody should
doing.
do that. They give you that opportunity to
play with
review
it.
it.
You know,
Yeah.
I
And
play with it.
actually, when you're making the template, there is a send test button
Right.
that will go straight to you. You don't even have to click off of the template.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
if you,
just always
if you
check
click
it.
send test, it will go to your email only and it will come from noreply@kvcorp.com.
Okay.
Yeah, this way
Are
you
you
can
in
take
the
a look
office
at it
today?
before.
I'm actually out of the office until March 1st.
Ah,
My son was exposed to COVID
wonderful.
again.
Okay. All righty.
But you can
All right.
call her,
Feel
you can
free
do
to
a
call
Zoom
me.
with her.
Feel free to call me.
Yeah. All right.
Nancy and I have a question. When we sent out that email to everyone, when I got the 2 replies back. One was a phony. It didn't work out. But the other one, it just gives the address. It didn't give the person's name. So we had to go to the tax records and find out who the person was that lived at that address.
Okay, so what happens is,
Same thing with me.
Go to Cole.
Pardon me? Go ahead.
Go to Cole Realty.
well, hold on one second. So let me answer the first question and then let's go to Cole Realty. So the first thing is that on your website, Carol, where we linked everybody to go to, that sell page where it says get the value of your home, they have to go one step further in order for them to become a lead in your system. So it's good that you have their address and you have the mindfulness to know to go to the tax record. So that's great that you did that. So they didn't download the simple CMA. So what happens is it will spit out the CMA, but in order for them to see it, they have to put in their email address. They didn't do that in this case. We want them to do that, but people are savvy enough to know, well, if I put my email in, then Carol's going to call me or email me 1,000,000 times a week. So, people just don't do that. But now you have that person's name and you can be, you can stalk her or him. So on the other side, Deb said something about Cole Realty. That's where originally we got this list from, Deb.
Oh.
So, yes, we could go back and look at the Excel sheet of the 4,000 names that we downloaded, or we can do what Carol did, which was probably the easier route to do.
Well, actually,
You
it's
can
easy. If you
Google
go
the
on
address.
to, I did the same thing. I'm sorry. When I go onto Excel, I just go into Excel and search for that address.
I don't think in this case Carol had that list, Deb. I think we just dumped it into KV Core, and then she doesn't have the, you know what I'm saying? So what she could have done was done a search in KV. There's a few ways to go about it.
Okay.
These are all options. So you can either go to your KV Core and do a search for that address, or you can do it in the Excel sheet, or you can go back to Cole, or there's all these options that you can do.
Okay, because
somebody puts their email address in,
just because I save everything I put in from Cole Realty, I downloaded onto CVS sheet.
Yeah.
Saved on my computer and then put it on the computers on KV Core. So I have it 2 different ways I could look it up.
Right.
easily.
So in this case, I did the admin side of things for Carol and Nancy.
Right.
I did the Cole part and we dumped it into KV Core and then it was done. So there was really no reason for even Carol to have the Excel sheet at that point.
Okay.
But the way you're doing it on your own for the most part. So you have that initial information. But all good ways of doing whatever you're more comfortable with. I think the tax record is a good secondary too, because you want to just make sure the information is correct. You know, who knows if how you know, close Cole is. We're hoping that it's pretty accurate, but you don't know, you never know.
And
Good.
Deb, you are, I would speak for myself, but you are way advanced in Excel than most people are. But I will speak for myself on that. You're way advanced for me. I will tell you that.
Right. To do a search in Excel, you would have to know how to do that also. So,
Okay.
you know, but anyway, again, it's all good ways. I'm glad we have all these resources to do that. So that's really good that we have that. And here's my cell and email. Again, I'm out of the office till March 1st, but I can come in the late afternoon. If you absolutely need a one-on-one in person, I can be at the office by 4 o'clock if necessary, because that's when my spouse gets home from work. So totally possible to do that. You know, I've kind of been exposed to COVID at this point too, in a strange way. I have no symptoms, but you don't know.
Mhm.
So it's really up to you. But again, I'm available by phone, Zoom, whatever you want.
Zoom, right.
Yep.
All right, thank you, Stephanie. That was a lot
Thanks,
of good
guys.
information. So again, 2021, we need just to continue with a very simple plan and execute so that we get the growth we deserve. So our monthly commitments to build a successful business. In January, I asked you all to implement 1 call a day into your daily activities, just to get used to making phone calls, because 5 calls a week, 25 or 20 calls a month, 240 calls a year is much more than you're doing now, right? Unless you're making calls, then add 1 more extra one before you stop your call session each day. Okay, these are the ways that we're going to engage and implement a successful year ahead. February, I asked you to add 1 contact a day into your CRM. So to go back, right? So starting from today and going back into, you know, past lists that you have, past open houses that you have, anywhere that you have contacts that you can add in, to add 1 contact a day. Again, we just want to build up these good daily habits very simply, right? Something that everybody can do, time that everybody can put forth, and we want to make it attainable and not overwhelming. And then in March, I'm going to ask you all to take an hour a week to practice your listing presentation, because without the knowledge of your listing presentation, it helps you in so many ways, even when you're at an open house, even when you're talking to friends or family, or you meet someone at a grocery store who wants to know about the market. The more that you understand your listing presentation, the more comfortable and confident you become, and the easier you are to obviously gain people's trust. And we want to make sure that we're not getting a listing presentation. So a listing today, right, is a golden egg, right? If you get a listing opportunity, it's a golden egg, guys. We all know that. Like, that's where it's always been one of the best parts of real estate, right, for building your business, but now more than ever with this low inventory. So it is not okay to get a listing appointment and go on it in 2 days without having looked at your listing presentation for the last 6 months or the last 3 months, right? That's not what a professional does. That's not what a consultant does. They're on point with their game. They know exactly what they need to do and what they need to say and how to control that conversation. So if you're not prepared, if you're not going to make it, it's going to be very hard for you with the competition that's out there to be able to obtain that listing. So I want to make sure that you are well prepared. So by putting these into place each week, it's going to make a huge difference in your business. Not today, not tomorrow, but 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, it's just going to continue to build to where you get to the place that you want to be, where you see these top agents and you're saying, this is where I want to be someday. This is how you get there. So we want to take these simple steps. Then I just want to go over our office training calendar real quick. So tonight is our 12 weeks of real estate. Week 6, build an agent to agent referral system. And that's at 7 o'clock tonight. Then tomorrow, just so you know, there is a change in time for my time blocking workshop. It's at 11 a.m., not 1 p.m. like in Sunday's email. And this is really huge. It's color blocking time to make sure that you are getting the most out of each week. Real estate pulls you and drags you in so many different directions, and we all have such good intentions, but if we're not making sure that we have a plan in place, we're never ever going to be able to get to the things we need to do each week. Okay, so please join me for that. And all under one roof, new agent orientation is tomorrow at 12. So that's for all of our agents that have joined in the last year, and obviously anybody is able to attend, just because we love to have you guys there to, you know, if you have any questions or you know, just want to go over our all under one roof experience again. So just some reminders, and then you're going to see this sign up. Does anybody remember this? I remember this from the Randolph office in Wykert, back from 2006 to 2014. So we had a commitment to success, at least one listing and one sale per month. That's what every agent had to commit to when you joined the office back then. And it should be no difference now, right? Yes, there's challenges, but if you're doing the right things each day, you should be able to build a healthy, successful business. So we're going to have this up on the wall with everybody's name going down. We have little stickers. So when you get your listing for the month and you get your sales for the month, we're going to put them up there. And we really want to make sure everybody is on track for success for the year. Okay. So again, you will be seeing these up on the walls within the next few days. And then because I'm not sure if this is confusing to you guys, I sent out an email the other day about the quadrennial ethics course. Okay. So you have your CE credits due right now, right? 12 CE credits due by April 30th and our license renewal by June 1st. That's what's coming up. Okay. Our quadrennial ethics course is something that was due every 2 years, and now they pushed it to every 3 years. So it was supposed to be due on December 31st of 20, but they pushed it back an extra year because it's every 3 years now. And so it's due by December 31st. If you have not completed or satisfied your CE credits for the upcoming April 30th deadline, you can take this course and it will satisfy that, and it will satisfy the quadrennial ethics that is coming up for December. If you have already completed your CE credits for April 30th, then this needs to be taken by December 31st. Okay. So if you go on to NAR.com, or nar.realtor.com, right? So your National Association of Realtors account, and you log in, it's going to tell you whether you've completed it or not. So here it says mine is incomplete, okay? So what I would do, and this is just a screenshot, I would hit view my options to complete the code of ethics. When I hit that, this comes up. So it's the different courses. So if you needed to satisfy your CE for this upcoming cycle, then you would click the CE course and you would pay $29.95 for the 3-hour credit. Okay, it's 2.5 hours, but it's 3 hours. I'm sorry, it's 3 credits. If you've already satisfied your credits for this year, then you can take it for free. Code of Ethics course for existing members, and you would hit this. Okay, so this is going to be your two options that you have as an agent. Okay. Whether you want to use it for this upcoming credits, you're going to pay $29.95, which I think is reduced to like $21 when you click on it. Or you're going to take it for free and just have it done by December 31st. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about that? Wait, I see. Wait, Carol, I can't hear you. I'm trying to unmute yourself. I could see you talking, but.
All right. If you take the second one, the code of ethics, that's for the quadrennial?
That's for the quadrennial. They're both quadrennial, but this one will satisfy. So like if you needed it, then you'd pay the $29.95. If you don't need it for the April 30th, then just do the free one and it'll be done. So you can do this at your leisure. Okay.
Missy, how do we know if we already did that? I think I already did it.
Because right here, oops, when you log into NAR, right here, it says complete status. It's going to say incomplete or complete. So
I've never logged into that.
So this is my platform, right? So here's my profile and it tells me my completion status.
NAR. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Log into NAR.
That's how you'll know.
Missy,
Yes.
when we finish, after April 30th, when we finish our credits, will we get an email on how to pay for and sign up to get our license?
Yes, actually, Wykert sent out an email last week preparing you for what to expect coming up. So the payment portal is going to be up soon. So an email did go out last week in reference to that. But yes, you will be notified on how to go in, claim your credits, and pay your licensing fee.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, and on Money Matters, I went on a couple weeks ago and they still didn't have up you know, they had my W-2 or whatever up there, but it didn't have all the expenses and everything. Is that on there now?
The history report is always on there, always.
I don't know
So
why.
the way that you do it was when you go on to Money Matters.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go on as somebody else. Okay, I'm gonna go on as Jackie's assistant because she doesn't have any, she doesn't do commissions, right? But she's a realtor in our office, so she won't have anything that I would be sharing with you. If that makes sense to everybody. I'm able to go on hers and for goodness sake, it takes so long, but I'll show you how to get that history report because everybody should be getting their history report so that you can bring it to your accountant when you go to your taxes, because it breaks down anything that you've paid so that you're not being taxed on it. So I'm going to put in Wendy. Okay. So I'm going to go into Wendy's Money Matters just to show you. Okay, so she's not going to have a history, but right here where it says calendar year income information, and it says 2020 and 2021, the view print right here, this would bring up her history report.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here, this is what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then it will break it down, any 1099 income, net adjustments, and net commission based on anything that you've paid, like your E&O and all of those, you know.
Your screen's blurry.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I can see where it is.
Going in and
Blurry.
out. Oh, my screen's blurry again.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
I can see. it.
Yes.
Okay, so this is it, the view print right here under your calendar year information, 2020 or 2021. That is the information that you want to share with your accountant, okay? And I'm
Thank
happy
you.
to help you with it or get it for you, whatever you need. Just let me know. So Anthony?
Chrissy, I have a question back on the credits, on the CE credits. If you don't, I already took 12 hours. So if I took it after April 30th, would those 3 hours go towards the next year's credit?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
So
because of the ones that were that went to the CE credits, there was a charge for that. So I guess if you paid the $29.95 or whatever the fee is for that, then yes. If you're going to do the free one, then no.
Okay.
Okay.
I think you have to wait a certain amount of time before they start applying, like June. You could wait like after June, they start counting again.
July,
I
I
don't
think
know.
it's July 1st. I think it's July
Yeah, I don't think
1st,
it's
but-
right away.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to
Okay.
take it the day after they're due, it doesn't count.
Right, but there was two,
Then-
remember,
then-
there was two sessions on there. One was a paid one that went towards your CE, and one was a free one that did not go towards your CA. So I don't
No,
want you
I'll
to
wait
think
to
you're
pay
taking
for
the
it. I
free
don't-
one.
No. I don't care about paying for it, but I don't want to take a class. At least let me get 3 credits for it. Sorry.
Right. And you put.
I love that baby.
Show him my face when he goes to sleep.
Missy says, shh.
All right, Anthony.
Sorry, I'll mute
No
myself.
worries.
Good morning, everybody. How are you guys? Last week was kind of interesting towards the end of the week, to say the least. Just a little bit of what's kind of happening in the market. It's been a pretty crazy roller coaster the last like 3 days. Client week for data this week, but the treasuries are moving northward. End of last week on Friday, they ended up at a 1.2 level, which is the highest we've seen in the year. So rates were up. They're currently sitting around 1.30 this morning, 1.30. They opened up this morning, so rates are rising again. I mean, just to give you a little bit of perspective on how fast this stuff goes, from Friday to probably today, rates are up probably 1/4 to 3/8%. So, I mean, all of a sudden you have these buyers that are like in these grade twos, the word 3 is going to start coming into people's, dialogue very quick and already this morning. So just be very cautious of that as we're getting all these buyers, like we talked about with inspection waivers, people getting out of their comfort zone, making additional offers, going higher and higher and higher. We've always said this before, we're pushing the envelope with many folks and getting them qualified and having them try to go toe to toe against other people. You got to be careful because if the market moves like it does, you're talking about 1/4, 3/8% in interest rate is going to make up a difference of $60 to $70 a month in some cases. People may or may not qualify at that point. So just be very cautious of that. But, rates are on the rise right now. There's a lot of interesting data going on, that's circling around the 10-year treasury, sell off on bonds, the stimulus money that's kind of getting put together. It's all circulating around that. So I don't know if we're going to see this kind of continue to rise, which will put a lot of pressure on the market and kind of keep rates kind of moving upward. Who knows if this is more of a short-term thing, but we'll see what's going on. But for the last 3 days right now, rates are just climbing right now. So it's an interesting time. You can go to the next slide, Missy.
Yep.
So many of you have seen this. We talked about this a bit last week on our office meeting. I mentioned that we were putting it together, and from all of us on the mortgage advisor side and our input and what we're seeing and what we're talking about on a regular basis to our customers and you guys, the company decided to kind of publicize this out so everybody has it in front of them. I've talked to Stephanie a little bit too as well. We're going to try to get like a one-page flyer so you have it kind of right at your fingertips. But this is everything we're talking about. I'm going to go through it again with you guys. We mentioned it on last week's call, but just everything that's going on. You heard on the heels of what Jamie talked about before. We need to really make sure our buyers are educated, our sellers are educated on what people are attempting to do in this marketplace to try to stand out and make their offers come together. I feel that a lot of people I'm speaking to, from the pre-approval capacity to the offer capacity, and how much I even go through with them, people don't realize what's going on, how the market's moving, and what they're dealing with by making a statement. I'm going to waive my appraisal. Okay, yeah, it just sounds great. I said this last week in last week's call. Let's just waive it. But then all of a sudden they get in a turn review and the deal falls apart because they really didn't understand what waiving the appraisal meant, or waiving the inspection, or a portion of the appraisal, or a portion of the inspection. So, keep that stuff in mind. We really need to put a lot of emphasis. I mean, I'm spending a lot of hours a day with all of our buyers, spending, an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes doing a consultation, just at pre-approval. I mean, I can tell you right now, companies like Rocket Mortgage, people are going online and getting a pre-approval in 10 minutes. They're not having any of that dialogue with any of your customers. And I'm seeing deal after deal going in with, Brandex lenders and companies, online banks and stuff like that. They are not having these conversations with any of our clients. So we need to make sure we're really explaining everything, because if it's not done correctly, these deals are only going to die and only fall apart on the back end, as you can hear Jamie talking about in a turn review, as she's getting and explaining stuff, and all of a sudden the client's mindset is very different from how it was presented to them. So just to kind of go through it here, we want to make sure that they're all pre-approved with all questions resolved, such as what they're doing with their present home. A complete buying analysis will help you plan for the offer contingencies. We even produced 2 letters, one at the offer price. I mean, many of you that have been working with me, typically I like to update the pre-approval live time for an offer and for their actual contract to match, versus kind of showing what the borrower qualifies for. Hey, in this marketplace, if we want to stick our chest out real far and say, hey, our buyer is buying a $500,000 house, but they could afford $6, maybe that's what we need to do. Let me know. I've always said this too as well. If I need to call a listing agent, selling agent, let me know. I'd be happy to. We can call the listing agent and ensure them our confidence, the borrower's qualified. I did this yesterday 2 times to the listing agent to try to see if we could put a deal together. So, trying to do whatever I can for all of us to kind of make things, kind of really strong. We could start the documentation collection process up front, so you could offer the shortest closing possible. I've always told this to you guys too as well. Back me into a corner. I have no problem with you guys doing it. If we need a 30-day close, a 20-day close, a 25-day close, that's fine. If that's what the seller's looking for, great. It's not always the case too as well. Some sellers are kind of just, oh my God, I can't believe the market's moving so fast. I need 60 days or 90 days. Maybe that works for your client. So we have to be extremely flexible. Missy, you can go to the next slide.
Yep.
A letter from the buyer to the seller with personal appeal adds a great touch. Now, there's been a little noise about that, and Missy and I briefly talked about it, but she was running out last week. But, something about if you're able to explain and disclose like fair housing and stuff like that, I think we're able to kind of navigate around kind of the nice letter up front sort of thing. But, I'll leave that kind of up to you guys. I know they're still kind of getting thrown around out there. So a lot of people just trying to make that, that personal touch if possible to the seller. You want to go back a page, or did we go?
Sure.
Oh, sorry. Just the buyer pay for a potential home warranty to cover the closing, so the seller won't have a last-minute issues or repairs. Allow the sellers to stay in the house for up to 30 days closing for free. I mean, usually we would do a U&O, but maybe, hey, dangling that, hey, we'll let you stay as long as you want. I just want to be able to put this deal together. It's more important to me. Maybe that's more important to them. Waive appraisal contingencies. We briefly talked about that too as well. I mean, this is an important thing right now. I mean, every agent I'm talking to on the listing side is, what else could you put on top? Any whipped cream, any sprinkles, maybe a cherry on top for your buyer? And I'm having these conversations. This is what's going to be coming in. You could potentially lose a house on this. I'm not telling you to do it, but it's something you may want to consider, as there's going to be a wild card out there in every transaction, not necessarily cash, but there's going to be a person out there just willing to waive every single thing to get that deal because they've already been through all the pain for the last 6-8 months. So, I think really explaining everybody really what's going on. It's not so much the dollar amount. I mean, there was an agent last night that posted on social media just her angst and frustration about not getting a deal together on a really strong offer. It's not always about the dollar amount. I mean, it is in a lot of cases, but it's also about the flexible terms that appeal to the seller. It's really, really important. And I'm spending a lot of time for all of us out there that try to really help our clients stick out. But, we want to make sure our clients are in the best position so they're not in the worst position on the back end in case any of these things kind of come on. So the biggest thing is just leveraging me when you can. If I could help in any way possible, that's what I'm here for. All right, we got a trivia question as always. According to a study by Redfin, what percentage of homes sold in under 2 weeks during a period in early January to early February? So A, 36%, B, 47%, C, 52%, and D, 65%.
C, 52%.
What else we got? Any more takers out there? All right, B, C is the answer.
D.
2%.
C, right?
B, C is the answer.
That's what I said.
2 weeks, half of the houses are gone. It's unbelievable.
Yep, Lonnie and Dennis are the winners, the big winners.
Yep.
And
Yes.
if you give somebody a U&E and then you close, is there a time limit as to when they have to be out?
I think it's just based on the UNO as far as what's decided between the attorneys and the buyers and sellers. I mean, I really don't get involved in that, so that's more between the attorneys. But I mean, I don't think there's a set limit. You guys would maybe know better than me if there's a restriction there.
I heard that there was, because then all of a sudden it becomes like an investment property.
Yeah, I mean, I would totally typically think like there's like a 30-day kind of typical window, I would assume, as far as that. And then after that, what does that do? I mean, usually if you're doing a UNO, you got to be cautious about insurance and all that kind of jazz too as well. Right. So, let's assume someone needed the 30 days. Going back to my list, it's more of like, hey, typically I would ask for $1,500 for you to, rent back. Don't worry about it. Stay there. I'm okay with it. I want to be as flexible as possible for your personal situation. I'm okay with that. So people are just getting overly creative right now.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
So any other questions for Anthony? All right, great. Thanks, Anthony. That was a lot of good information. A lot of things have changed in 1 week for sure. So we have to stay on top of it and make sure we are the advocates for our clients. I still, every time I do these each week, I'm just in shock. Honestly, I never thought I'd see amount of active inventory as low as it is. And then to boot, I had many homes going under contract in the past 30 days. So continually seeing really, really low homes coming on the market, as well as under contract in the past 30 days. And like I said, these numbers are getting smaller each month. They're not even getting bigger as we head into the spring market. So it's a little scary when you see that. So we have to make our own market. We have to make our calls. We have to reach out to the people we know, our sphere. If reaching out to people is more comfortable, then that's what you should do. Don't try to do something you're not comfortable, because you're not going to do it. Okay, make sure you're doing farming. Pick something. Maybe it's social media. Pick one thing that you're really comfortable doing and just hit it out of the ballpark for the next year, because that's going to be your way of generating business. So new listings on the market. I know Cheryl has 20 Mulligan Drive in Mount Olive, and I believe that is already gone. 18 Northridge. Yep. 18 Northridge in Denville is already gone. 8 Cumberland Avenue in Totowa. I'm not sure if that one's gone or not. But if Peter's on and wants to talk about it, please do. 6 Nottingham Way, Randolph Township, 779. On the coming soon, Rob Rodriguez has 284 Gettysburg Way in Lincoln Park for 349.5. So again, this is a coming soon. This is something that you guys can share with your clients if you have someone in that price point in that area. 24 Midvale Ave in Parsippany, 350. I believe this just hit the market this morning or yesterday. So, but at that price point, sure, it's going to go right away. Anybody else have anything coming soon on the horizon in search of any price reductions or rental listings you want to share?
I do. It's Mara. I don't know if I put it on last night. 137 Lake Road in Morris Township. It's a great oversized bi-level for 600,000. Updated, amazing lot. Showings begin Saturday with an open house Sunday, 12 to 3.
Awesome. Sounds like a great house. That'll be gone before you know it, guys. So if you have someone, make sure you're getting that word out.
I need a rental. The guy's willing to spend 3,000, a little bit more. I need at least 2 bedrooms, a bath, and someplace that he could take. He's got a mini Aussie, a little dog. So he needs a rental for a year or two in Madison, East Hanover, Florham Park, Summit, Chatham, in that area. Anybody comes across one, please let me know. He's ready to go ASAP.
Yep, great. In search of.
I have something. It's Marissa.
Hey, Marissa.
I have an exclusive. Well, the exclusive will be signed today, but it's in Roselle, Union County. It's a 2-family, but could easily be converted back to a single-family home. Each unit has 1 bedroom, so it could be good for rental or for in-laws. Yeah, it's updated. It has a brand new deck and a new shed in the backyard and fenced in. And it's going to be $290.
290, perfect. Thank you. Awesome. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Anyone else have anything coming on? Anything they want to share? Okay, so lastly, everyone knows, that Zillow bought Showing Time last week. So, there's been a lot of upheaval in the Zillow world, but, Zillow always had a plan. And we always knew that, right? We've known that for at least the last 5 years. And that plan is to cut the agent out of the real estate transaction, right? I mean, that's nothing that we haven't been known was coming. Maybe we didn't think it was going to happen in our lifetime or in our career time, but it's here. So again, we have to figure out ways to be the professional, be the consultant, and move forward, right? We can't spend our time thinking or talking about things that really are out of our hands. NAR should have been fighting for us for years and years. And so not sure, but I know I've seen ad, so to say. Someone shared it with me last night. Someone posted on their Facebook page, and it's actually an app that that buyers can put on their phone, and they can actually unlock the door and do a virtual tour, right? And so it's something that it's a trial that's going on right now with Zillow, and it's in California, I believe. So it hasn't come to our area. But again, these are things we have to be aware of. We have to be on top of our industry and of our business. And so again, just wanted to give you what the most up-to-date information is as far as that platform goes. So we have a lot of great resources and tools that we can use to share with our clients, and that's what we need to start doing. Okay, so we need to start taking control, and we need to be pointing our clients where they need to be looking for homes, right? We want them to get the most accurate information. So again, just wanted to share the latest update. And is there anything else anybody else wants to share today or talk about? Or okay, well then, have a great week, everyone. We're heading in next week. We believe it or not, we'll be heading into the last week of February already and heading into March. So it sounds great when it comes to weather, right? We think that we'll be in better weather, but the year is moving quickly. So we want to make sure we're taking control of our market, of our business, and of our success. So join me tonight, join me tomorrow, and have a great week.
Okay, Missy, goodbye.
Thanks, Missy. Bye.
Take care.
Bye, Missy.
Bye.